Okay, there we go. So I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to go here. Okay, now when I'm sharing my screen, I cannot really see the chat. So let's see. Okay. I'm just going to hide the chat. So Erica, I will have you just answer questions while I'm talking, and hopefully, since I can't see you guys, hopefully everything will come through. Okay. Here goes. Okay, so the title of this is just your promotion game plan. As I was thinking about what I was going to share with you tonight, I was really just trying to relate promoting to playing a game, like playing sports. So I was thinking, you know, when you're about to play a game of, say, football or something, you're going to need to have a game plan. You're going to need to know the rules of the game, what's involved, who the players are, where you're playing, what's at stake, who your opponent is, all those types of things. And you're going to have a coach. And so I was thinking, you know, promoting is kind of like that, except you're kind of your own coach. You do have some people motivating you and helping you, but you're not the coach that stands on the sidelines. You're actually going to be getting in the game yourself with your team. So just kind of keep that in mind tonight as we go through this. So first of all, why do you want to play the game? Why would you even want to promote? It's really bothering me that I cannot see what you guys are doing while I'm sharing this. Let's see. If I can have the chat on the side or something, that would be really helpful. I don't know how to do that. Okay. No, go back. Sorry, guys. Okay. Well, I guess I can't see your chat. So anyway, why would you want to play the game? Why would you want to promote to team leader? You're probably already like having an awesome time as a consultant, right? I mean, being a consultant is really fun. You meet new people, you make money, you do events and parties, and you're getting awesome books. But there's only so much money you can make as a consultant. You kind of get to a point where you are kind of at your limit. I mean, you're working really, really hard, and you can only make so much money. You can only have so much time to do so many events, you know. You're going to need to promote eventually if you really want to be able to make a decent income with this. Okay, so another reason why you might want to promote is personal growth. So just being able to set a goal for yourself, being able to say, hey, here's something I'm working toward. You know, for me, like, I wasn't in the professional world anymore. I'm staying home with my kids, and I need something that I'm working on for myself. And so a lot of us, that was probably one of the reasons why we joined Usborne, is just to be able to do something for ourselves. Well, that continues to happen as you set goals like promoting and continuing to move up in upper level leadership too. And just as a consultant too, you're growing. I mean, you're growing in your confidence and all those things. That's important. Recognition of your hard work. So yes, we get recognized with prizes, with bonuses. As a team leader, you're going to get recognized, you know, with a tiara, and not as a team leader, but as you continue to promote, you get recognition. When you promote to team leader, you're going to get recognition from your upline. You're going to get so many people cheering you on, and your team leader might do something special for you. And it just feels good. You're going to get pats on the back, and you're going to know that you've accomplished something that you worked hard for. And then the other reason to promote is to help others. So you're not going to be successful yourself without helping other people be successful. And it just feels so good. And it really is a good motivator, knowing when you have your whole team watching you. It really does motivate you to keep goals for yourself and keep meeting those goals. Okay, so I'm sure you guys have seen this before. This is the Step Up and Lead illustration that shows you as you're working towards promotion, all the things that you're going to gain, and we just kind of talked about this. But the first little stepping stone is increasing your time with family relationships. Yes, you're going to have more time as a team leader for your family. And I know that sounds kind of backwards. You think, well, wait a minute, I'm going to have all these additional responsibilities. I'm going to not just be a consultant anymore. I'm going to have a team of people that I'm training and stuff. So why would I have more time for my family? Well, actually, you're not adding more things on your to-do list. You're not increasing the amount of time you're working on your business, really, as long as if you don't want to. So let's say now you're spending 100% of your time on your own personal business. Well, as a team leader, you just kind of shift those times around. So you shift the percentages around. So instead of 100% of the time on your own business, let's say you spend 25% of the time on helping your team and 75% of the time on your own business. So you're not adding any more time. You're just kind of changing how you divvy it up. Okay, so you're going to have more time for your family because when you're not able to work, your team is working and you're making an override on their sales. So if you're sick with the flu, if something happens and you can't be there for your business, you have to be there for your family and you have to put them first and you can't do as much as you'd like, well, your team is still out there working and you're still getting the benefits of that because you're getting your monthly override check. So think about that, how nice that is to have that backup and have that extra income is coming. Okay, we already talked about getting rewarded and recognized. And then just personal development. You're going to get even more training opportunities as a leader. You're going to be able to train your team, and by doing that, you're going to be learning so much more how to better your business and how to increase your business. And then, you're helping others. You're making an additional 8.5% on your own earnings and on your team sales. So let's talk about that a little bit. Okay, so another reason you will want to promote is because of this. So here's just an illustration here. This is you over here. This is you as a consultant. You're doing 4 to 6 shows or events per month. So let's say if those were home parties, and an average home party is about $400, you're making about $100 commission on each of those parties. So if you do 4 to 6 a month, some are more maybe, some are less, you're going to get about $300 to $700 in commission for that month, which is really awesome. But look over here. Look if you have a team. That's a team of 5 people over there. But even if you just have 3 people, which is what you're going to need to promote, so let's say you have that team of 5, and they're each hitting $1,000 a month. Well, look how big your commission bumps up. Well, you're still getting your own commission, but then you're getting a $400 to $1,000 team leader override. You could be getting that much. So if each one of those people does $1,000 in sales per month, you're going to get 8.5% of their sales. So it's $85 for each one of them. Okay, so can you see how quickly it adds up? I mean, and imagine if your team was bigger and they were all doing that. Some people, of course, aren't going to be doing anything. I mean, some people are going to be doing just a little bit, and then other people are going to be hitting it out of the park every month. So the bigger your team is, the better you can succeed and help them succeed. Okay, and then also, here's another reason it's important. Because once upon a time, you were a little girl with big dreams that you promised that you'd make real one day. So don't disappoint yourself. So keeping promises to yourself is important. I mean, don't stand yourself up. If you say you're going to promote to team leader and you don't make it the first time around, that's okay. Keep going. Try it again. Just switch your goal month to the next month. Think about yourself as that little girl, and you made a promise to her that this is going to be the way your life is. This is what you want your family life to look like. And you can't disappoint that little girl. You can't throw in the towel. You got to keep going. Okay, I can hear somebody's microphone. Just remember to mute yourself, please. Okay, so what does a team leader do? We talked about that a little bit, like your division of what you spend your time on. 25% of the time helping your team, 75% of the time is your own personal business still. Because you've got to have, your business going, and you're still, being a team leader doesn't mean you neglect your own business and you're just helping everyone else. No, you've still got your own personal business that you have to look after, and you need to make sure it's flourishing and make sure that you're setting good example for your team too. So that doesn't go out the window when you become team leader. And you're still mostly focusing on your own business. Some of the things that you do as a team leader. Number one, you're motivating other people. You're selling books. Yeah, you're still selling books as a team leader. You're pointing others to resources, and you're sharing the business. You're recruiting still. That's a huge aspect of it, which we'll talk about more. So, do these things look familiar, guys? Like, you're already doing this. Do you have to motivate your hostesses sometimes? Do you have to coach them on exactly what to do to get a certain result from their parties? Yeah, that's called hostess coaching, and we've got all sorts of trainings on that, and we've got resources on that, and we've got, checklists that we use with our hostesses. We have certain procedures we go through with them. So that's the same thing you'll be doing as a team leader, but think about doing that with your team instead. And you're going to have certain resources you point them to in the form of trainings that you create or trainings that you're going to point them to with another team that's already there for you. You're going to be motivating them just like you would motivate a hostess. You're going to be reminding them of how awesome they are, and that feels so good. And you're going to help them celebrate their successes. And you're still going to be selling books. And the good news is you already know how to do that. So just keep doing that. Keep focusing on why you started this business, what you love about it. Just because you're focusing on promoting does not mean you're going to be, just sitting there like with your plan and your pencil and you're going to be all in your head. You're going to be, doing what you normally do, but you just got to change your mindset a little bit and kind of keep your eye on the big picture. Okay, and that brings me to sharing the business. A huge key of promoting is recruiting. Okay, so what does it take to do this, to promote? So let's think that we're in our playbook again, and we're getting ready to play the football game. Before they rush into a new game, don't you think sometimes that the coaches analyze what happened in the last game, what they can do better? They look at all the plays and they see what worked and what didn't work, and they find the things that did work, and they repeat those plays again to get the runs. So repeat in your business what does work. You know that, if you have 4 to 6 events per month, and let's say each of those, if it's an average party, it's going to do about if it's below average, maybe $200 per event. If it's an average or a really good party, maybe $400 to $500 per event. So figure out what plays do you need to put in your playbook. How many events are you going to need to put on your calendar to get you where you need to be for your sales goals, and to put you in front of a number of people that you're going to meet that will be in your recruiting funnel and your hostess funnel, to keep your business building and growing. Okay, and also try something else. Okay, look at what didn't work. Try something different. Okay, so just get outside your comfort zone. If you always do home parties and they're not going well for you, and maybe try a Facebook party. If you always do Facebook parties and they're not, you're not hitting your groove with that, get out there and try a booth. Get out of your circle and meet some people at a booth that you've never met before, and get them in your circle and do a party with them. Get out there and go talk to a preschool. Get a preschool book fair in the works. Do a cards for a cause. Do something that scares you. I promise if you do something that scares you, that's going to take you to the next level. That's going to really help you overcome your fears and help you get to where you need to go. Okay, so the requirements of being a team leader. Sure, you guys have seen this before. If you haven't seen it yet, you can find it a number of places. Also, it goes over the requirements in your consultant guide. This is a handy little printable checklist you can print off. Excuse me. You can have it, somewhere. You need to have it somewhere where you're going to see it every day. Whether it's in your car, on your refrigerator, in your office, wherever. But this shows you exactly, breaks down the numbers and exactly what the requirements are. So let's say, you're going to promote December 1st is what you've decided. Then that means your month 1 and month 2 would be October and November. So the 2 months leading up to your promotion goal date are your qualifying months. Okay, so for month 1 and month 2, you're going to need $1,000 in personal sales. So that means just $1,000 that you yourself sold, and that's just from parties or whatever. And that's HOC1, guys. I mean, if you get in the habit of doing HOC1 every month at least, there you go. You have that. And then 2,750 in group sales. But the good news is that includes your own sales. Okay, so even if your group is small, 1,000 of that 2,750 is your own sales, and then the rest of it can come from your team. Or let's say your team's not doing that much. It can come from your sales. I mean, you could have a large chunk of that yourself. It doesn't really matter how the numbers come together. You could have 1,750 and then $1,000 from your team. Whatever it is, as long as it adds up to 2,750 in your total central group, and $1,000 of that being yourself. Okay, then you also need to have 3 success-bound recruits. Now, success-bound just means that it's a personal recruit of yours who sold $1,000 within their incentive period, their first 12 weeks. So as long as they have done that, they're success-bound. It doesn't matter if they don't sell $1 after they become success bound, they'll always count for one of your success bound recruits. So you just have to have 3 of those. It doesn't matter when you get them. You could have gotten your first one 6 months ago, and you're going to get your next 2 this month. It doesn't matter. And then 3 active recruits. So that means that 3 people on your team are considered active. And to be considered active, you have to have sold $500 in the last 3 months. Okay, so let's say you're looking at promoting December 1st. That means September, October, November. That person has to have sold $500 sometime in those 3 months. Now, it's usually, it happens where it's the same people as your success-bound people, but sometimes it's not, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be the same 3 people. And normally we would be submitting a team leader application also. But right now with the new system, I believe Kelly told me that there's not a way to submit the team leader application right now. So that's okay. Just share with your upline, share with your team leader your goal to promote, and tell her when you'd like to promote. And she'll get you in one of the 18 promotion groups, and we'll all work toward it together. And so don't worry about that last piece of the team leader application right now. You can just start working toward it and share your goal with your team leader. Okay, so remember I said earlier about stepping outside of your comfort zone. So you see that nice little square box where you have your little party schedule and all that set in your little box, and you know what you're going to do to become a team leader. Well, you might have to just jump out of that. I mean, when I was trying to promote to team leader, I was doing everything and anything I could to get those sales that I needed. So I ended up doing a flash sale like the last week, or I think it was the last few days I had. I did a flash sale to just get rid of some inventory and get some extra sales. I approached my dentist to sell him some books for the waiting room. I did a lot of out-of-the-box things that I was not comfortable with, but it worked, and it helped me get where I needed to be as far as sales. Also, step outside of the box with your team and with recruiting. Talk to people you never thought about talking to before. Don't prejudge who needs to hear about our business, because that person could be your next rock star on your team. Also, if you have girls in your group and you need to get them success bound, something I did was I took them with me to some booths that I had, and they helped me, and they worked it with me, and we split the sales so that they could get some sales counting for them. So that's something you can do too. So I love this quote, that if you want something you've never had, then you've got to do something you've never done. So promoting to team leader is something that you haven't had yet. And if you want that, you're going to have to do some things you might have never done before. You've never done Cards for a Cause, you might have to give it a try. You've never done a book fair with a preschool. If you're not an EC, it would just be with a preschool. If you are an EC, maybe you can do, an LFL with a school or a library, or, something that you haven't tried yet. You might want to do that. Okay, and then it takes a team. So you're not going to promote to team leader all by yourself. No matter how awesome your sales are, no matter how talented you are, you're just one person. You're going to need a team working with you and helping you. And you're going to need at least those 3 success-bound people, but the more the better. I mean, just recruit everyone. I think at the end of my incentive period, I had maybe 8 people, 5 people, I don't remember how many, but I had more than 3 people on my team because I just didn't quit sharing. I just kept sharing. And you guys know what this business has done for you. You know how much you love Usborne and what it's done for your kids. Share that with people. Share those personal stories, success stories. And people can see that, and it's just infectious, and they want to be a part of it. So huddle up your team. You are a crucial ingredient on the team, but one person cannot make up a team. So get out there and recruit. Oh, and I just want to share something Mandy Golightly told me about recruiting. Well, she didn't just tell me; she was sharing it in a training, a Monday night training. It really helped me with recruiting. Wear like 5 little bracelets or rubber bands on one of your wrists, and decide that those 5 rubber bands are going to be 5 people that you talk to that day that you share the business with. And it's like this little challenge for yourself. So every time you look down at your wrist, you know that you still need to talk to that many people. And anybody who's within 3 feet of you, they're in your circle of people who you can talk to about the business. So, don't just run up to them and accost them and, be like a salesperson. But work it into your conversation naturally. Recently I had a girl join my team that I met at a splash park, and because I walked up to her and I asked her if I could share the shade with her at the park, and we started talking and our kids were playing, and my intention was just to become friends with her, but I also just shared with her honestly about my business because it came up in conversation, and she joined my team. So don't be afraid to get out there. It takes action. It's not all in just a game plan. Yeah, you have the plan on the paper, you have the moves that you need to make, you have the steps you need to take, but then you actually have to get off of that paper. You have to get off of the bleachers and get out there on the field and do it. So get going. Don't sit around and wait for the perfect time. Don't say, well, once I get my recruits, I'll start trying to promote to team leader. No, it can all happen at the same time. I mean, once you decide you're going to promote and you set your goal and you start working towards it, those pieces are going to fall into place. And it might not happen the first try. You might have to change your promotion goal date a few times. It might take you a year. It might take you a few months. But just make the goal because there's never going to be a perfect time. So make today the perfect time, okay? And that's just a cute little duckling picture because I like cute little animals. My son likes all the dangerous animals, but I like the cute little animals. So that little duckling, or I don't know what it is, I guess it's a duckling, it did not learn how to fly immediately. It had to take a step. It had to take a few steps in a row and then lead up to it. So that's the same thing, guys. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not just by saying I want to be a team leader. It's not going to happen. It's going to take work, and you're going to face challenges, and maybe it's not going to work the first time, but you're going to do it. I mean, it's going to happen. So just choose, your date of what you're going to work toward and tell your team leader and get those wheels going. And if you have questions about what is needed and you still aren't sure about something, just share that honestly with your upline, and they are more than willing and excited to help you and be, root you on, cheer you on, and root for you. Okay. So that brings me to my last point, and I have more little chicks. Why do I feel like I'm being followed? Because you're not alone. The book ladies stick together. We are one big family. We are not competing with each other, even if we're on different teams. We're all on the same team here, but even other leaders on other teams are more than happy to help you. So find your Aussie buddy, talk to your upline, talk to other leaders who inspire you, listen to all the leaders from these Monday night trainings, and find someone who you really connect with. I mean, it might not be your direct upline who, is the story that you connect with the most, but everybody is here to help, and everybody is excited to show you kind of how they did it and share what we can with you. Okay, so that's kind of all I have for tonight. I hope I helped you a little bit. Like I said, it's nothing that profound or new that I've shared with you, but maybe I said something you needed to hear. So thank you guys, and let me know any questions you have. I'll catch up with what you've been saying here. Okay. All right, Erica, you've been doing an awesome job of keeping up with all these questions. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Blah, blah, blah. People in the 50s and their weather. I'm so jealous. Okay, what else? What else? Okay. You have minimum sales as a team leader. Okay, yeah, Casey, those minimums are so easy to meet. I don't even think about them because by the time you promote to being a team leader, you're going to be so in the habit of setting a standard for yourself of at least $1,000 in personal sales. And as you're a team leader, all you need is $1,000 over a 3-month period, not even every month. But you're going to be doing that anyway yourself in just 1 month, I mean, it's just going to come naturally to you. So honestly, I don't even worry about it. And then $4,000 as a team, yeah, over a 3-month period, which again, if you're doing $1,000 yourself every month, and, maybe even you're doing HOC2 every month as a team leader at that point, you're really not going to have much sales that are going to need to come from your team. A natural conversation to introduce your business without sounding like a salesperson. Okay, so let me think. Well, I'll give that example of when I was talking to my friend Erin, who's on my team now. I went to the splash park with my son. I had no intention of recruiting anybody that day, by the way. I just, I was just talking to another mom, and I was just asking her, I was like, so, how long have you lived in Northport, because I'm kind of new to the city where I'm in. And she was sharing, that she's new to the area too, and we're just talking about what do you do? Are you a stay-at-home mom? What else do you do? Do you work outside of the home? And I just said, yeah, I'm primarily a stay-at-home mom, but I also have my own home business that really helps me, be able to be home with my son. So I'm so thankful for that. And then, she asked me, so what do you do? And I said, well, actually, it's children's books, which is really fun. Have you heard of Usborne? And it ended up that she was a teacher for a school in our area, and the school had just had a really bad Scholastic book there, and they didn't want to work with Scholastic anymore. And she was familiar with Usborne, and she said, I really love their books. And she's like, I didn't know you could work with schools. I didn't know Usborne worked with schools. So we started talking about that. And then we started talking about other things again. Like, we didn't keep talking about Usborne the whole time. But we just stayed in contact, and I think I asked her to do a home party, and she was trying to decide if she was going to do a home party, but then she just wanted to know more about the business. And I just kept her in my network of friends, and every time I talked to her, I wasn't talking to her about Usborne. I was just, honestly trying to make new friends in the area. And Yeah, I think the key, Vanessa, also, yeah, it's just listening and just being, just being genuine. You just talk to people. Just talk to them like you're interested in every other part of who they are and every part of their life. I mean, not just like you're sitting there waiting for your turn to talk. Um, and you're not thinking about what are you going to get out of this exactly, Vanessa. You make it about them. And you're not always thinking in your head like, oh, could she be my next recruit? What do I need to say next? What would be the perfect thing to hook her? You just get, the more you do it, the more you talk to people, the more comfortable you're going to get, and the more it'll just come out without you even trying. How do I stay in touch with them? I usually friend people on Facebook. If I've had a good conversation with that person and we've connected about something other than the book, then yes, I will friend them on Facebook and then eventually maybe get their phone number, mostly Facebook. Yeah, Vanessa, I know. I used to say that too. Like when I got somebody who was interested, I would just get so excited and I'd kind of freak out and I'd start like telling them way too much stuff and probably scare them off. So I think less is more. Yeah, just don't like overshare and don't get too excited when you have a live one. Like you're fishing and you have one on the line, don't get too excited and like pull too hard and then the fish gets off the line. Yeah, like with Erin, it was probably a month before she joined, but we were having conversations like once a week about different things, and it would always come up about the book. So any more questions about promotion requirements or, anything related to promoting? If you guys don't have any more questions, I will sign off. I'm glad you like that, Erica. It's so funny because I do not care about sports at all, and I do not get into sports, but I just kept thinking about sports for some reason. Thank you. I have to have pictures. I'm a visual person, so I really can't. And I am not very well spoken, so I'd rather just show you a pretty picture. Thank you. I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you learned something. Get out there and put those wheels in motion. Decide you're going to do it. You're going to promote. Oh, thank you, Carrie. Do we have anybody who's going to set a promotion goal date now? Thank you, Sarah. I'm glad you were here. Oh, Carrie, you're so sweet. Yay, Pam. Awesome. I can't wait to welcome you to leadership. Lori, let's do it, girl. We're all here for you, Lori, and whoever else wants to promote. You have all of the leaders in the A team cheering you on, and you have an awesome leader. I apologize for my hair, guys. It's really bad looking. I went swimming in the pool and I did not brush it out or take a shower yet. So you guys are seeing me all natural. Yes, she is awesome. I love her. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to say goodnight and maybe watch some Netflix with my husband now. So have a great night, and I can't wait to see you guys getting a shout out in the A team for promoting. Okay. Good night, guys.